The Odyssey, or Odyssea, is the second of the two epic poems attributed to the ancient Greek poet Homer, the first being the Iliad and usually considered the second extant work of Western literature. It was probably composed near the end of 8th century BCE and is in part a sequel to the Iliad. It is widely recognized as one of the great stories of all time and has been a strong influence on later European, especially Renaissance literature. The poem focuses on the Greek hero Odysseus, or Ulysses as he was known in Roman myths, and his long journey home to Ithaca following the fall of Troy. His adventure-filled 10-year journey took him through the Ionian Islands, and the Peloponnese and as far away as Egypt, and North Africa and the Western Mediterranean, as a displeased sea god Poseidon prevented him from reaching his home. Today, March 17 flash reports. Just the time 8:20 a.m., let's have the sequel of the Iliad story. Let's hear from Riljan Cartosiano for the story of Odyssey.
Hello everyone. 10 years after the fall of Troy, and 20 years after the Greek hero Odysseus first set out from his home in Ithaca to fight with the other Greek against the Trojan, Odysseus' son Telemachus and his wife Penelope are beset with over 100 suitors who are trying to persuade Penelope that her husband is dead and that she should marry one of them. Telemachus set out to look for his father, visiting some Odysseus' erstwhile companions such as Nestor, Menelaus and Helen, who have long since arrived home. They receive him sumptuously and recount the ending of the Trojan War, including the story of the wooden horse. Menelaus tells Telemachus that he has heard that Odysseus is being held captive of the nymph Callisto. This is Riljan Cartosiano, LIT News.
To continue the reports, let's hear from Danica Arellano and Shani Alcazar for some updates.
Hello everyone, I, Danica Arellano, this is LIT News. The scene then changes to Calypso's island, where Odysseus has spent 7 years in captivity. Calypso is finally persuaded to release him by Hermes and Zeus, but Odysseus' makeshift boat is wrecked by his nemesis Poseidon, and he swims ashore into island. He is found by young Nausicaa and her handmaidens, is made welcome by King Alcinous and Queen Arete of the Phaeacians, and begins to tell the amazing story of his return. Odysseus tells how he and his 12 ships were driven off course by storms, and how they visited lethargic lotus eaters with their memory-erasing food before being captured by the giant one-eyed Cyclops, Polympetus, Poseidon's son, only escaping after he blinded the giant with a wooden stake despite the help of Aeolus, king of winds. Odysseus' crew were blown off course again just as home was almost in sight. They narrowly escaped from the cannibal Laertians, only to encounter the witch goddess Circe soon after. Circe turned half his men into swine, that Odysseus had been pre-warned by Hermes and made resistance to Circe's magic. Again, this is Danica Arellano, LIT News.
After a year of fasting and drinking in Circe Island, the Greeks again set off, reaching the western edge of the world. Odysseus made a sacrifice to the dead and summoned the spirit of the old prophet Orpheus to advise him, as well as the spirits of several other famous men and women, and that of his own mother, who had died of grief at his long absence and who gave him disturbing news of the situation in his own household. Advised once more by Circe on the remaining stages of their journey, they skirted the land of the Sirens, passed between the many-headed monster Scylla and the werewolf Charybdis, and briefly ignoring the warnings of the Tiresias and Circe, hunted down the sacred cattle of the sun god Helios. For this sacrilege, they were punished by a shipwreck in which all but Odysseus himself drowned. He was washed ashore on Calypso's island, where she compelled him to remain as her lover.
For more information, or updates, let's hear from Frances Carpiva.
Homer has brought us up to date, and the remainder of this story is told straightforwardly in chronologically order. Having listened with rapt attention to his story, the Phoenician agreed to have Odysseus get home, and they finally deliver him one night to the hidden harbor on his island to Ithaca, disguised as a wandering beggar and telling a pretty close tale of himself. Odysseus learns from a local swineherd how things stand in his household. Through Athena's machination, he meets up with his own son, Telemachus, just returning from Sparta, and they agree together that the insult and increasingly impatient satyrs must be killed.
Thank you, Francis. For other information, the character of Odysseus embodies many of the ideals the ancient Greeks aspired to: manly, valor, loyalty, pity, and intelligence. His intelligence is a mix of keen observation, instinct as street marks, and he is as fast as inventive lawyer, but also extremely cautious. However, he is also portrayed as very human. He makes mistakes, gets into strict situations, loses his temper, and he is often moved to tears. And we see him in many roles as a husband, father, and son, but also as an athlete, army, captain, sailor, carpenter, storyteller, raj, beggar, lover, etc. The other characters are very much secondary. Although Odysseus' son Telemachus shows some growth and development from passive untested untouman of valor and action, respectful to the gods and men, and loyal to his mother and father. The first books of Odyssey are often referred to as the Telemachi or Telemachy, as a follow Telemachus or Telemachus' journey. After hearing the reports about Iliad and Odyssey story, now let's hear Marites Minutes by Riljan Cartusiano, Danica Arellano, Shane Alcazar, and Frances Carpiva's reports. Hello, Marites Riljan Cartusiano, what's the update?
Hello everyone. There are several minor conflicts outside of the main conflict in the Iliad. This conflict deals with both man and gods alike. In the Iliad, we see many conflicts or problems characters face in the story. Conflict in literature usually consists of four things: man versus man, man versus self, man versus nature, and man versus fate of God. The cause of the main conflict in the story serves as the driving force for the plot. The conflict serves as to tie the story together.
Thank you, Riljan. For more details, let's hear Marites Minutes of Danica Arellano. Danica?
Hello, Camaritas. Marty's Minutes, theme of an Iliad and Odyssey. Hospitality may be to a modern reader. Hospitality doesn't seem like a stellar theme to build a literary work around. After all, you may ask, what are the great revelations are going to come from not vacuuming before your friends came over? Well, hospitality was actually very important in Greek society. How you treated visitors to your home, whether strangers or friends, said a great deal about your morals.
For more Marites Minutes, let's hear Shane Alcazar. Shane, what's your Marites Minutes about the story?
Odysseus' portrayal of bravery, intelligence, and which leads to him becoming a symbol of Greek culture. The story of Odysseus reveals moral lessons of bravery, heroism, pride, and honor relevant to the Greeks and their culture. Odysseus was a symbol of Greek culture because he was brave, intelligent, and strong.
For continuation of the minutes, let's hear the further details of reports from Francis Carquiva.
The moral message of Iliad is that having the courage to fight gives a man's life honor and meaning, but the war itself is tragic. While Homer emphasizes honorable exploit of brave warriors, he also does not shy away from showing the human cost of war.
Thank you, Francis. That's all for today's report about Iliad and Odyssey story. Thank you for our reporters today, Miss Shainmi Alcazar, Danica Arellano, Francis Carquiva, and Mr. Riljan Cartusiano. And I am Rodiwala Cabanilla. Thank you for watching LIT News. Have a good day.